Hello, welcome to She-preneur Stories series, an initiative by 46XX that brings to light story of a woman entrepreneur per episode that might just cheer, inspire, aid and benefit you on your entrepreneurial journey, or might just convince you to become an entrepreneur if you have been toying with the idea for some time now. Today, let's listen in to the story of CHENDDYNA SCHAE, a home business owner turned entrepreneur. She is a Master Chocolatier and the founder and managing director of Jus'Trufs, which she founded in 2001. You may read more about her accomplishments in the description box. Listen in to learn more about as to how did she get to where she is today. CHENDDYNA was born in 1962 in Mumbai to Dr. S.S. Khera and Nimmi Khera. She is the youngest of three sisters. Theirs was a close-knit family. Her parents and sisters enjoyed a really strong bond at all times. Her dad was an accomplished oral surgeon who used to teach postgraduates and was the dean of the Government Dental College in Mumbai, where she grew up. He later moved to Manipal Dental College, followed by KLES Dental College, Belgaum, which he set up. Her mother was a housewife initially, but started working as a supervisor in the Central Cottage Industries Emporium in Mumbai when CHENDDYNA and her older sisters were in school. She passed on her passion for Indian artisans and their rich heritage, which her girls imbibed. Later, when her mom was in her 70s, she started acting in ads and commercials after her dad had passed on. Her parents always encouraged their three daughters to follow their passion and creativity. Her dad did hope for CHENDDYNA to be a dentist, but that was not her calling. Since her mom was working, CHENDDYNA got used to cooking up meals for the family while still in school and helped around the house. Her mom recognized her passion for food and suggested that she pursue a one-year bakery and confectionery program from the Institute for Catering, Dadar, Mumbai, after she completed her 12th standard. CHENDDYNA then went on to do a 2-year hotel administration and food technology program at Sophia Polytechnic, Mumbai. In 1991, she took a 10-year sabbatical when she decided to follow her heart and marry Tejas SHE, a businessman. From Mumbai, she moved to a remote town called Dandeli in the jungles of Karnataka and started a family there. She moved to Bangalore in 2001 and has been living there since with her husband. Her two sons, Nayaksh and Divyaksh, currently live in Australia. Her older son Nayaksh works for the Australian Tax Office and as a vegan chef on weekends. Her younger son Divyaksh is a sound designer and is currently creating his first album while driving around Queensland, Australia in a van. Growing up, CHENDDYNA was a pretty hard-working and diligent student. She loved reading and listening to music. She also loved playing with her dolls and friends in her apartment. From a young age, she was fiercely independent and knew that she wanted to be an entrepreneur and be in charge of things. Her parents were salaried and gave CHENDDYNA and her sisters the best education and experiences that they could afford. However, CHENDDYNA was ambitious and always wanted to have a better life with comforts for herself and her kids. She definitely wanted to get out of the salaried mindset she grew up in and have limitless dreams. It was during the courses she took soon after class 12 and subsequent hotel internship stints that she realized her deep love for chocolate making, which was not being taught in the programs at that time. That is around 1979 to 1983. This did not deter her. She and her friends would try some entrepreneurial ventures like bake sales in the building and participate in college fests. Their first bake sale was a loss-making affair as they overproduced and could not sell. She learned a great lesson and was embarrassed to have made a loss using her parents' hard-earned money. Post her graduation, she moved to Manipal, a student town, with her parents. There she rented a café and ran it with her mom, who was always very encouraging and enterprising. Being straight out of college with no work experience, it was a challenge running a business. While students loved the food, cakes and desserts they served, they were on student budgets and were not willing to spend on quality products. But Chandana was not willing to compromise on quality and ingredients, and after 18 months, she decided to close the business and move back to Mumbai to gain some experience. She worked in the famous China Garden restaurant and a hotel, but soon realized that she would only be happy if she were an entrepreneur. So in 1986, she set up her second business with her savings and started a small chocolate making unit at home in Mumbai. Chocolate making skills and recipes were picked up from books and her own experiences, as there was no internet, YouTube, or any classes at that time. Over 5 years, she earned a good set of clients, 2 employees, and a pretty good name in Bandra, Mumbai. Post this stint, she took a sabbatical for 10 years to get married and raise a family. While she did have a choice to operate her business in Mumbai remotely or travel between both places, she decided to wind it up soon after marriage. During these 10 years, she enjoyed making cakes for her son's birthdays and a few chocolates for Diwali to gift friends, but did not consider getting back into business until her husband's mining business suffered a setback and they had a pile of debt to be paid off. Whenever Chandana is faced with a roadblock, she believes she can get through this. This strong sense of inner belief guides her to move on and think ahead, as roadblocks are not the end of the world. Hence, Chandana re-ventured into entrepreneurship in 2001 with the aim of making a difference in her family's fortunes as they were going through a rough patch, combined with revisiting her deep love for chocolate making. She also wanted to do the right thing for her team and give them and their kids a better quality of life. Her venture, Jus'Trufs, started as a home kitchen venture in 2001 with a capital of 10,000 rupees and 3 employees. It has now grown into a 5-story independent building spread over 7,000 square feet, housing a chocolate and bakery production center, a home-style cafe, office, and event space, and employing 35 to 50 people. In addition to its strong retail clientele with over 200 footfalls a day at the cafe, Jus'Trufs also counts many top-notch corporates as its loyal clientele, having serviced over 5,000 corporates till date. Chandana will now give us a peek into what her entrepreneurial journey has been like.
Hi, I'm CHENDDYNA SCHAE and I'm the founder and chocolatier of Jus'Trufs. I enjoy all the hats that I keep wearing. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, a friend, everything. And I really love traveling and I love trying out new recipes. In 2001, we moved to Bangalore from Bangalore as our kids needed a good school. And that's the time Jus'Trufs was born. I decided to start from the house. And it was a low investment business. I didn't want to take any risks and any loans because my husband's, we were going through a difficult time with my husband's business and we had a lot of loans at that time. And so I just started scouting around the city, looking for vendors, looking for how we could start things out. This time when I started the business, I had the full support of my husband and his practicality was a good foil to my creativity. And my kids were thrilled. They were thrilled to be called the chocolate auntie's son, and it got them a lot of mileage in the apartment we were living in. And we would ask the kids to come to the dining table, wrap chocolates in the evening after school when we had rush orders. Initially, it was very difficult to find good, reliable vendors in a city like Bangalore. We didn't know there's a culture here of not answering calls, not doing the work on time, not even having the material ready on the due date, in spite of having given an advance, and we learned it the hard way. We have had sleepless nights over orders where the chocolates are ready for an event and the person who is supposed to make the customized mold or the packaging has disappeared, is ghosting us. And it was really tough. But now, of course, over 20 years, we have got really reliable vendors. The other problem was finance, because we hadn't taken a loan and we were just financing ourselves from profits made in previous months. So it was always a slower growth, and we didn't have any money initially for marketing. So what we did is we would make chocolates at night, and I'd taken a counter at a big store in the CBD. So at night we would make the chocolates. I would stand all night making chocolates. The next day my husband and I would stand in the counter and in the store, and we would give out samples and book orders, and then come back home again, finish the rush orders, and that cycle continued for like the first 15 days of the first Diwali month that we had. I think my biggest support has been my husband Tejas and my kids. Tejas, because he is practical and he knows how to make a rupee stretch further, whereas I am more in love with passion and creations, and I can just go overboard and spending things. When we started out, I said I'm not good at accounts, compliances, and taxation. So that's something that he handles. And we also, there is a good sounding board for how to go ahead with a business, what kind of initiatives to take, what should we invest in, what should we do going ahead, because we can't stagnate obviously in life. And also we have a building now, so the maintenance of the building, the equipments, that's also a lot of work. So I do more of the creativity and the running of the business the day to day, and then the planning ahead we do together. And of course my kids have been sounding boards all through the initial years when times were tough. We didn't have much money, and they would also help me in sales and come with me on sales on Sundays and help promote the business. In 2011 and 12, we were building this building, and we built a cafe, and we didn't have no idea how we were going to run a cafe and a bakery along with the chocolates. And just by providence, our old friend Shabana re-entered our lives, and she said that she would like to look after the cafe and the bakery. So it was like help came at the right time, and she's really good at interacting with the clients, with the guests, and they all love her. And I think that we are both soul sisters. Initially I was working from home, so I was generally home when the kids came home from school. But over the years, business grew. I would take part in sales on weekends, so sometimes my husband and kids would help me in the sales. And a lot of the times my husband would look after the kids on weekends and spend more time with them. Now my boys, they live in Australia, so we try and spend 2-3 months in the year together. Either we go there or they come here. So sometimes in the peak of Christmas New Year season also, I make time for the kids, and I'm out of here, out of work, and we just spend time with the family, because my team is wonderful. My team always steps in and does a wonderful job. In 2003, I got a chance to go for my first ever training on Belgian pralines to Singapore, so that was really wonderful. In 2009, I got an opportunity to be part of the 10,000 Women program. This was sponsored by Goldman Sachs, and the partners were ISB Hyderabad. This really was an eye-opening experience. It widened all our horizons and really taught me how to take my business to the next level. And this is the first time I did a business plan, and I participated in a business plan competition, and we got awarded for the best business plan as well. In 2010, I went to Belgium and I trained with the Belgian master there, and that was like just a wonderful experience, because they were actually so similar to us, and they spoke English, which was a big thing, and they were very nice and very kind, and really taught me a lot. The year after that, I got an opportunity for a chocolatier master from Netherlands to come to India to our place, and he trained our team as well in 2011. So I've had like lots of learning opportunities. In 2011, we moved into our new premises. So we had this new business with a cafe, bakery, event space, and a chocolaterie. So it was a bit daunting initially, but like I said, Shabana joined our team, and so it's been a smooth ride since then. We have been selected to be the only Indian brand available to sell at Bangalore duty-free departures, so that was a big feather in our cap. And because we did well in that, we also got an opportunity to sell at Delhi duty-free. We are also the only Indian brand to be selling on Amazon.com in USA. So our bean-to-bar homegrown Indian chocolate is available in USA. In 2019, we won the Times She Unlimited Business Award for the food category. So that was the first time I took part in a competition and we won. When I look back at the anxiety that we went through at every stage, when you're growing, when you're learning, you have so much of self-doubt, but eventually you know that everything is going to work out. So from now on, my go-to mantra is going to be no anxiety and no self-doubt. It is difficult when you're going through the process. Will I get this dream client? Will I have the funds for the next season? You know, will everything work out? But eventually it does work out and we get what's due to us. On the work front, I feel like I'm living my dream. It's been 20 years and I've got such amazing clients. They're very loyal, amazing team that I work with. The setup is great, our products are well appreciated. That's the most important part. A lot of people ask me, we are at present, we are a single location space and we own the space. So especially for lockdowns, during lockdowns, it was a blessing that we didn't expand to more territories and more areas because that would have created more stress. Rather than expand to multiple locations, what we are looking at doing is doubling our capacity at our present location. So we are looking at doubling our capacity in the cafe and our production space. So that's going to be about within 2 years we should be able to complete that, and for that we would be looking at either getting a loan or getting in a professional investor who would also help us grow the business. Of course, I'm waiting for my Gen Next to come and join me in the business because this is a legacy that we have built over 20 years and it's only right that they take it further. On the personal front, I'm looking forward to traveling some more and spending more time with my kids, and hopefully they'll get partners, they'll have kids, so I'm looking forward to that phase in my life. The most important thing is to do what you love, so never start a business if you're not passionate about it. And of course, there are times when you get very logical data about steps you need to take in business. And sometimes you have to listen to your inner voice because maybe if you take the steps that are logical, you may not be so happy. So trust your inner voice and listen to it. And of course, a great support, a great relationship with your vendors and your team members is very, very important to build the trust with them and to build the trust with your clients. That's absolutely very important in any business. There will always be failures and successes. We have to understand it's part of the cycle. Enjoy the good times, but don't let the bad times take you down. And sometimes you have a choice of doing something that is right, but it may not be an advantage in the short term. But always aim to do what is right. I think 46XX is an excellent initiative, as we must always pay it forward and we should always help others. I mean, I myself have received so much help, tremendous help from so many people, and I would like to spend my time mentoring other women entrepreneurs.
If you liked what you just saw and heard and would like to be notified as soon as we come up with more such content, like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon of our YouTube channel. Or follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram or Sheroes. Or get yourself added to our mailing list by filling in a form. You will find the handles, addresses, links displayed on your screens and in the description box or comments section. Thank you and catch you soon.